15th, 2025 village board meeting. 3, roll call shows all trustees present except for Shauna, who will be a little late. All staff is also in attendance. 4, agenda changes. Are there any? Okay. 5, consent agenda. A, December 19th, 2025 regular, December 19th, 2024 regular board meeting minutes. And B, presentation of accounts and other claims against the village. If there are no questions, I would need a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion to accept consent agenda.
A second.
Roll call, Jim.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Motion carried. 6, pre-registered citizens to be heard. Are there any? Todd, Tim?
Am I good right here, Jim?
Sure, wherever you would like.
Todd Tim, the District Administrator of the Hortonville Area School District. Appreciate your time. Here to thank the board and Nathan for their promotion of Sergeant Barr to Chief. Representing 4,400 students, their parents, 700 employees, and citizens that have worked with Sergeant Barr as our school resource officer for 15 years. Thank you again to the village board and Nathan on this decision. And it goes beyond this in our partnership with the school district. We have a great appreciation for this board and know the amount of time and care that you put into decisions for the residents of Hortonville. To watch this board and administrator promote someone who has dedicated his professional life to kids and parents and community members is exciting. We have had the opportunity to work with Ryan for 15 plus years. I've directly worked with him for 12. He was integral in our visitor management system upgrade, Raptor, when no other schools were doing it. During a referendum, safety referendum 11 years ago. Department of Justice drills, district safety planning with our safety director, Mr. Tom Ellenbecker, safety audits. Not only safety drills from the Department of Justice, but our mental health and trauma teams, our TSIP teams. And his relationships with regional first responders has made our school safe and healthy for students. He has helped us in the worst of the worst tragedies. We're not immune to those. Car deaths, sextortion cases, suicide, and the follow-up care in each of those situations. And most important, if there was a student support concern or a family concern, none of the administrators of the Hortonville Area School District in the last 15 years looked at the clock to see what time it was. We just called. And Sergeant Barr has always done the same. He's dedicated. I commend you on this decision. I'm dang old now, but I do a good amount of reflecting. And I will miss my teammate, but I know this village is in good hands. We're proud of him. Thank you.
Thank you, Todd. Anyone else?
No.
Okay, 7, committee reports. There are none. 8, unfinished business from previous meetings. There is none. 9, new business. A, discussion and possible action on updating the police chief's job description.
So that should be in your packet. This is based off of the update that I sent out to you guys. There was a few changes in there, making sure the right school district was in there, and everything else is as presented.
Does anyone have any questions? One thing that was brought to my attention though was if we could add timely communication to the village board regarding any issues we need to be informed of before it would go out into the public. Is that possible? I mean, it's just helpful for us to know before something really tragic would happen or has happened, just so we are made aware.
Sure.
Wonderful. Does anyone have anything else?
So we just need to make a
we would
motion?
Need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the police chief's job description with the, changes noted from Jeannie Blisle.
I'll second. Roll call, Jim?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Motion carried. B, discussion and possible action on police chief's contract agreement.
Contract agreement is in the packet as well, based off of the discussion we had at a earlier meeting. The attorney drew it up based off of that, so.
Does anyone have any questions? Okay, then I would need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the police chief's contract agreement.
I'll second.
Roll call, Jim?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. C, swearing in of Sergeant Barr as chief of police.
Oh, jeez. Why not? So let's get right in there.
Raise your right hand. I, Brian Barr,
I, Brian Barr,
having been certified as a law enforcement officer
having been certified as a law enforcement officer
by the Law Enforcement Standards Board,
by the Law Enforcement Standards Board,
and having been duly appointed as the Chief of Police
and have been duly appointed as a Chief of Police
for Hortonville Police Department,
for Hortonville Police Department,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin
that I will support the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin. And will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of office of the Village of Hortonville.
and will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of the office of the Village of Hortonville Police Department
To the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Okay, congratulations.
Okay, we will then go to D, discussion and possible action on sale of police trucks starting amount.
So the truck's ready to be posted for sale. Just wondering what you are suggesting for the starting. It's an auction site. Bought it for 38,000, 10,000 miles are on it. Same truck sold at the end of December with 100,000 miles on it for 15 grand. Ours is in way better condition. Just curious, we got an offer from Ford dealership for 25. So whatever you guys want to do the starting post at, is kind of what
Get an offer for 25.
from the Ford dealership, yeah.
Okay.
So
To buy it outright or?
yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's good news.
Did we feel like, excuse me, I know you looked to see if there was anything available on any of the wholesale websites or anything like that. And I thought 25 or something was what somebody had mentioned.
Well, that's what I would post it as, because we got an offer for that amount. If you wanted the lowest we would post it at, it'd be that, 'cause we can get that from the Ford dealership. But the only ones that are on there are ones with significantly more deterioration on the number of miles and how it was used in service.
How long is the auction?
I think we can set it for whatever we want.
Right.
Okay. I would suggest setting it at the current offer already. You start there and then you go up from there.
Okay.
But really it would depend on, so, just be sure and send out some posts.
Does the auction site allow you just to create a reserve? You know, to start the price out lower, but still have a reserve of 25,000 to maybe draw interest?
I think you can
Yeah.
set a low bid.
Because people will search for a range, and 25 might be out of their range, but if we put a reserve of 25, they maybe, you know what I mean? So it might.
Get more eyes on it.
Mm-hmm. I guess I'd like, if you could do that, you know, list it actually lower, but put a reserve of 25, so it wouldn't sell under 25. But it may open up some of those folks that are searching for up to like 20,000. but they'd be willing to pay a little more, they just aren't searching for that more.
Yeah, if they saw that truck with the low miles.
I don't necessarily know if it's, we can look at it and see if that's available, I don't know. I
Okay.
think it just has a starting bid
Okay.
amount. I mean, because it's the Wisconsin municipals and, the school districts use it as well. I think most of the searching is done like by items that people are looking for rather than price
Okay.
sometimes.
Is it open to the public as well? So, okay. I mean, it doesn't change anything, it's still a minimum of 25, but it might just,
We can look into it if we can start it,
Okay.
maybe at 20.
Or is there a fee for the auction service?
It's put on the person buying it. We
It's
don't have to-
okay, so if it's a 5% fee, then they pay the bid plus the 5%,
Yeah.
we don't pay the, okay.
Do you want a motion on this?
Sure, yep.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to set the starting bid price at 25,000 for the police truck.
I'll second. Roll call, Jim?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
aye.
Motion carried. E, discussion and possible action on water and sewer rate study proposals.
So these were proposals from our financial consultant, to look at our water and sewer, basically to give us options on how to, what the best ways would be to fund our ongoing operations as well as future obligations that we know are coming down the road, specifically Main Street reconstruction. So I think, that it will help us into our decision making, making sure we're funding it in the most efficient way.
And this is a company that's done this for us before in the past.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I know
they're,
they have records.
we have, one from 2021 we can send out to you as well, from our financial investors now.
So it's been about 5 years since the last one was done, and we have a lot better information on kind of what's coming down the pipe now. There's some big projects that we know are coming.
Any questions? If not, we would need a motion.
So we're just looking for a study for what we should be charging, correct?
What we should be charging and how to fund, like if we want to take a loan from Main Street, or if we want to, the different options that we have for them.
Okay.
They're both for 14.5. Each one is 14.5, but those are in phases. So depending on how the first or second phase comes out, we may not need the phases after that. So I think if we did a not to exceed the 14.5 on both, we should be covered.
Any questions? Okay, then I would need a motion on these.
I guess would you wanna cover it for just the first phase and see where they're at, if you like it? And then reapprove for the second phase?
Well, I mean, there's up to 6 phases on it. I mean, you could keep coming back with them, I guess.
It's probably not gonna be as efficient. Part of the issue is gonna be timeline, so this isn't gonna get started until, probably around May, when we get better, estimations from our engineering firm on Main Street. So at that point, we're looking at 6 months before Main Street would start. It's gonna take them a few months to do the cash flow analysis for us. So it's preferred by staff that it's just one, and then if we don't need something, we would say.
And either way, if we don't need it, then they don't charge us for that.
So do you need it separately or all as one, or for both to not exceed the 14.5, or how do you need the motion?
I think both.
Both
Water,
all as one?
You could do it, approving the contracts as presented for the
Okay.
water and sewer utility studies.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the contracts as presented
with both not to exceed the $14,500 limit.
I'll second that.
Roll call, Jim?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. F, discussion and possible action on Benton Construction Pay App number 2 for Alonzo Park.
So this is the second pay app for the Alonzo Park project from Vinton. They're currently closed down for the winter. I went through it with our design engineer and everything looks good on it. It's basically about 2/3 done and it's about 2/3 of the contract price. So.
Any questions? Otherwise, we would need a motion.
So we're looking at the 350?
Yep.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the Benton Construction contract application payment for the amount of $350,733.71.
I'll second.
Roll call, Jim?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. G, discussion and possible action on park construction pay app number 3 for North Mill Street.
So this is the third and basically last pay application for Mill Street from Parker Excavation. There is 14,600 and some change held back as a retainer, just to make sure that everything comes in the spring, with the seeding and the topsoil and different things like that. But again, went through it with our design engineer and everything, and it looked good. So this is pretty much the final payment for the project.
Is this the MSA or is this the Parker?
It's
Or is
MSA
MSA's?
is the engineer. It's for Parker Excavating.
Okay, so the payment goes to Parker?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the payment in the amount of $305,548.04 to Parker Excavation.
I'll second.
Roll call, Jim?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. 10, reports of village officials. A, clerk treasurer, Jane.
My report was in the packet,
Does anyone have any questions for Jane?
and I just put that in there about the bartenders, operators, just to give you a heads up. I don't know that people from Hortonville are gonna wanna pay the $200 operator fee as opposed to $32. So we don't have to have them do it, we can still do it on our end, but, so it's just a notification. And there will be a
Questions?
statewide primary, I don't know if everybody's heard, for the Office of School Superintendent. There are 3 candidates, so
Then
That's
on
on
February 18th.
February 18th.
Okay. Okay, then we will move to B, Director of Public Works, Aaron.
My report was in the packet, and we did conduct interviews this week, or are ongoing conducting interviews this week for our part-time custodian position. Hope to have that taken care of by the end of the week.
Any questions for Aaron? C, Police Chief, Brian.
Reports in the packet. The only thing I wanted to add is I did find a crossing guard, so we're full there. And then Jim, Jeannie, Nathan, and I will have interviews for that full-time vacancy next Thursday. So hopefully by next board we have a recommendation.
Any questions for Brian? Okay, we move to D, Library Director, Ally.
I put our year-end statistics in the packet. As always, we are shining above our past. The graph along the bottom of the page really highlights that the service population in our area is growing exponentially higher than our municipal population. So what that means for us is that we have to keep increasing materials, services that we offer, things like that, and that provides a challenge as a small rural fringe library. But it also shows that we are holding our own, and really succeeding.
Any questions for Ally?
Just one, so with Appleton opening their new library in
Mhm.
February, do you expect so I know wherever you take out a card or
Mhm.
wherever do you expect that to go down? And in Hortonville, have you gotten a lot of Appleton residents?
We have gotten a lot of Appleton residents, a lot of Grand Chute, and a lot more Greenville folks. I anticipate a drop at first, as people go to the new building. They're opening February 15th at their new building downtown. I think that we'll see a drop at first because it's a shiny new building. But we have access to all of the same services and resources that they do. So I think people will still find it beneficial to come this way as opposed to going into town and having a smaller parking lot and metered parking. So I think we'll be just fine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
E, Attorney Ashley?
I don't have an update for you. I apologize for being late tonight.
F, Administrator Nathan?
The reports in the packet, most, this past few weeks, dealing with updating zoning code, rewriting stuff there. Posts out for our utility clerk who is retiring in March, so we're gonna start interviews next week for that. Yeah, that's about it.
Any questions for Nathan? Okay, we will go to G, Building Permit Report. It is in the packet. H, any other miscellaneous topics for future discussion? Okay, then we will move to 11, Communications and Miscellaneous Business. A, Blackwater Lake District News. Bob?
Nothing new other than our next meeting is February 5th at 5 o'clock right here.
Any questions for Bob? Okay, we'll go to B, Hortonville Hortonia Fire District News. Jim?
We met last night. The fire department ended the year with $611 over their budget, but they still have they still have a balance. So they were pretty close. They ended up with 95 calls for the year. It's a little bit down. They had 98 last year, 102 the year before that. So that's good. EMS ended up with 251. Which is down significantly from 2023. They had, I think, around 360 calls. I think it was a very fast meeting so far this year. Each fire and EMS have both had 5 calls. I think our meeting was total of, it was really smooth because it was the end of the year and there were only it was only a few days into this year, so it was about a 10-minute meeting. Oh, is it so?
Any questions for Jim? Okay, we'll go to C, Gold Cross Ambulance Run Report and News. It is in the packet. D, Hortonville Civic Association. Jane?
We have officially signed on with the circus. It's Culpeper and Merriweather Circus coming to town Sunday, June 29th. There will be 2 performances, one at 2 and 4:30. And in the somewhat near future, we will be setting up advanced ticket sales. I'll keep everybody posted. Posters will go up as soon as we get them.
Nice. Any questions for Jane? Okay, we'll go to E, Senior Activities Committee. The reports are in the packet. 12, comments and suggestions from citizens present. Are there any? Thank you all for coming. And 13, I would need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned at 6:25.